Guys, welcome to Husker Hype Radio Podcast. I'm Eddie Rosenthal, Aaron Worsfold. We're here. We're drinking beer. We're excited. Episode 1, like Aaron said, of the Husker Hype Radio Podcast. We just recorded like a 40-minute one before this. Yeah, but we forgot to record it. So round 2, let's do this again, huh, buddy? What do you say?
You know what, Eddie? This one might be even better than the first one, pal.
Dude, we got a beer in us. We're kind of fired up right now. I got a little wee buzz going because I haven't ate a lot of stuff all day. So let's talk Husker football, huh? What do you say?
You know me.
First of all, for the people who don't know us, which there's probably going to be a lot of you guys, because this is going to have huge numbers for the first episode.
Global impact here.
Exactly. We're Husker Hype Radio. Kind of our background, why we started this is a few years back. We were watching the football Nebraska games and, not really the best quality of games going on. And me and Aaron were in the room watching them and listening to the commentators. Didn't know what we knew about Nebraska football. We were calling the penalties, numbers, who made the tackle before him, and we go, dude, why aren't we doing this ourselves? We could bring a whole nother style of commentary, and I think that people would love to watch it, to see our passion for Husker football, share it with others, have them be able to be interactive with us and do the thing. So that's kind of what we did. We started streaming on Twitch, moved to Instagram. Now we got a streaming on Instagram, Husker Hype Radio. Do it every week. Aaron's no longer in California, Costa Mesa, California, where the Husker Hype Radio broadcasting headquarters is located. So it's me doing the play-by-play commentary. We got DJ Faders on the DJ as well. There's smoke machine, lights, disco ball. We go nuts, man. It's the most hype broadcast in all of college football, is what we like to say.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's how it started. We're in year 3. This fall we'll be going into year 4. So we started in November of 2020. And this is going to be our best year at Eddie. I want to tease him a little bit. I want to tell him all about our plans, but not yet. We'll wait, but just know it's there.
Right. And I think another big reason that we started this is, like we already touched on, sharing our love for Husker football, but also being able to give that to people who aren't Husker fans and kind of showing them what this fan base is all about. We bleed red shit corn.
Absolutely.
Husker red. We bleed Husker red, dude. And I think that it's a super fun fan base to be a part of, even though the times haven't been so bright. We always look for something to get us excited, get us going. And that just speaks volumes to what us people as Husker fans are. Is, dude, we've won 3 games 2 seasons ago, 4 games this last season, and we're still selling out the stadium, dude. And if you don't want to be a part of that fan base, then you don't have to go wherever you want. But we are inviting you formally as Husker fans to join the Husker Hype Radio Nation and be a part of something great, something fun, something that you can look forward to every weekend.
Yeah, I love that, Eddie. And just like you said, hey, we're a nationwide broadcast. We're a nationwide fan base. We're international as well. We played across the seas last year. We unfortunately took an L to the Northwestern Wildcats, but we're international. And as a broadcast, Husker Hype Radio, we have friends and family across the globe as well.
Yeah, it's a fun thing where everybody can be a part of during the stream. And if you're in Nebraska, you're hunting, fishing on the boat, and you don't have access to a TV, I'm going to be your play-by-play commentator. I'll tell you what's going on, and you're going to get some good, authentic, real reactions in real time. And Aaron will be posting stories throughout the game. It's something that we're really looking forward to this season. We're going to bring it to the next level, and we'd love to have everybody join us on this adventure.
One of the biggest compliments I think I've gotten as a Husker Hype Radio co-founder is when one of our fans, a hypester as they call themselves, said, I like tuning in every week because I feel like I'm part of the family. He's an individual that lives in Missouri, not a lot of Nebraska fans where he lives. Kind of an anomaly, but you know what? Our red burns brighter and he still watches the games and he wants to watch it with us because we provide the best fucking broadcast, the hypest broadcast in the nation, bar none.
Right, dude. And I did get some, you said we're called the hypesters. There was also some comments that people were also thinking about. We got Fireball drinking savages, which every single Husker touchdown, we take a shot of Fireball. That's tradition. That's what we do. So that makes it fun as you get to see us get progressively drunk throughout the stream. Real emotions come out. I yell, I scream, I get fired up for Nebraska football. And I think that's a big part of the thing too, is this is authentic, dude. We're not commentators for ESPN. We can say whatever the fuck we want to, like I just did there. I said the F word. You can't say that on ESPN. I can say fuck, shit, and bitch however many times I want to on my stream, because this is Husker Hype Radio, dude, and we can do whatever the fuck we want to. And it's awesome. And we drink beer throughout the whole thing too. We're
just a good old boys club, Eddie. You're just out here showing us like we're a fucking fraternity, man. We're fired up, man.
We're fired up every single week at Husker football, baby. It's something, dude. When I was a kid, bro, school papers. What am I writing it about? Nebraska football. This summer we're talking about football. I'm gonna throw the Huskers in there somehow too. I don't care what it is, man. Aaron and I just have this deep love for Nebraska. Said it probably 3 times already. We have this big love for Nebraska, and we want to share that with you guys. Anybody in anywhere in the world, in the United States of America, is welcome to join this ride. We're on the bottom of the hill right now, guys. We're going up. We're going up like a roller coaster, dude. We're waiting for that thrill. And that thrill is going to be there once we ride down that hill. And I'm going to tell you, man, it sucks right now, but dude, it's going to be so fun when we're doing the loop-de-loops, pulling the G's, winning national championships. Fuck me up, baby.
Absolutely.
Fireball.
You know what, Eddie? And I think that's a great transition to what I want to bring up next. Let's talk about the new era of Husker football. I'm fucking sweating over here. I'm so fired up for Husker football. Let's talk about Matt Rhule. Let's talk about the fall of Scott Frost and the rise of Matt Rhule. Let's start there.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say we had Scotty for 5 years, a guy who we thought was going to bring Nebraska back to life. The child of Nebraska, some guy who's won a national championship with us, had success at UCF, at Oregon as an offensive coordinator. Just didn't work out though. But me and Aaron thought big things. I think everybody else in the state of Nebraska and the whole entire college football nation thought big things. I was going to get Scott Frost tattooed on my freaking body when he was going to win multiple national championships.
And I actually do have that video, Eddie. So maybe if we get a certain amount of likes, comments, or maybe if we just get enough response from the hypesters, I'll drop that video on our Twitter or Instagram or TikTok so they can see that one.
Yeah. It's something that we're sad about, but we've moved on. Trev Alberts came in as our athletic director, said something needs to be changed here. This is not Nebraska football as we know it. We need to return back. So we brought in head coach Matt Rhule. And what do you think about Matt Rhule, Aaron?
You know, I fucking love Matt Rhule. But one thing I want to touch on about Frost and the whole transition with Trev Alberts. If he would have waited, if Trev Alberts, the AD, would have waited 1 week, Eddie, just had him play would have had Frost for 1 more week as head coach, we would have paid him like half the amount we owed him because of whatever Rhule deal. But fucking right. Trev Alberts was like, get his ass out of here. I'll pay him the extra. Just get that motherfucker out, dude.
Right.
But Matt Rhule, as I feel like I have a good pulse on the heartbeat of Husker football right now here in Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska. We're hyped, dude. The spring game, it feels like how it did when Frost became head coach. It feels like the Kool-Aid is we're ready to go, dude.
The
Rhule, we're ready to go. Everybody loves him. Great guy, great coach, builder of programs. And I think that's what resonates with a lot of prospecting of athletes and transfers, and why we've been able to get a lot of recruits is because they say that he's just a great guy. He's a builder of men. That's the key. He's a builder of men, not just a builder of a program, because you can't have good players, if they're all just a bunch of divas. But if you set the foundation, look at Nick Saban. If you set the foundation like that, it's just recipe for a good program.
I think another huge difference between Frost and Rhule is that Scott Frost already had a good repertoire here in Nebraska, in the state of Nebraska. He thought it was going to come in here and be easy. He says, I'm going to get my guys here. I'm going to get my offense. I remember in that first press conference, he says, I hope that Big Ten teams are going to have to change.
Adjust to us. They have to adjust to us.
Adjust to us. And that's a great thing to be saying. But in the reality of it all, dude, is you got to come in here and have a game plan ready to go. And Matt Rhule, he's not a Husker native. He's a Penn State guy, played football at Penn State, grew up a Penn State fan. And he's got to gain our respect here, which is something huge. He wakes up at 3:00 in the morning every day, excited to be the head coach of Nebraska football, and loves to learn about our program and about all the great guys. He's bringing in Eric Crouch. He's bringing in good dudes who know the program and know what it's all about. Talks to Tom Osborne and Trev Alberts every day. And just like somebody who really, is like, hasn't proved themselves yet, at least in the state of Nebraska. They have at other places, but he knows how much Nebraska football means to the state of Nebraska and Husker fans all around. And I really think that that's a big thing, is he's not taking this lightly. He knows how much work there is that needs to be done. And he knows that the results, we're not going to win a national championship next season, let's face it, but he's striving towards that, wanting to win a bowl game. And why did I just say that, dude? We probably
what the fuck, Eddie? What the fuck? We're Husker Hype Radio, goddammit, Eddie.
We probably will win a fucking national championship game next season.
Yeah.
But no,
be in contention for the playoffs. Be in contention for the playoffs. That's like, if we're in contention for the Big Ten later in the season, then if we win the Big Ten, then we have a chance to get a nod at making the playoffs.
Right. And you were talking about recruits and how we already have a top 25 recruiting class when he's been here for 4 or 5 months. Hasn't even played games, hasn't even coached games at Nebraska, but he was a former NFL coach. So that brings a lot of things where he's got connections in the NFL. He knows guys who are there. He's coached, so he kind of can be a good stepping stone from college to the NFL. And then also just him, rebuilding programs at Temple and at Baylor, teams who have won one game when he got there to going 11-1 in the next seasons. Like, there's a lot of hype around him, and there's a lot of hope, expectations, but that's what he signed up for when he was a Nebraska football head coach. That's the job, man. And I think that he's ready for it. I don't think that he's underprepared like Frost was. He's not going in here saying, oh, I coach in Nebraska, things are just going to happen. That is not how he's taking it whatsoever. Completely different approach from Scott.
Yeah. I mean, first month he was recruiting on the trail. He was at every program and every high school program in the state of Nebraska, just posting all the photos and do all that. I mean, dude, he was on 13 schools a day. That guy is dedicated, and that's just what we need. So get back to recruiting within the state, build it how it should be, and go from there.
Yes. Seeing a lot of guys, and all those recruits, those 4-star, 3-star guys that have already have already committed to Nebraska without even seeing Matt Rhule coach a game here, just really speaks a lot about what type of dude he is and the guys he's bringing in. So the spring game Saturday, we're going to be able to see that first glimpse of that. Very excited for. We'll be streaming, by the way, on Husker Hype Radio Instagram. Aaron will be there on the premises of Memorial Stadium.
And if you're a hypester and you're going to be in Lincoln on Saturday, this is my invitation to come up to me and say hi. I have the Husker Hype flag. We're not sending it back to California quite yet. We're going to keep it for the spring game because it won't make it back in time. So I'm going to keep the Husker Hype flag. We're going to get some photos of it in Lincoln, make some content. So come up, say hi. I can ask you some questions, and it's going to be a hoot. No, yeah, this is a community. This is a community of building each other up, of drinking beer and being hype as fuck for Husker football.
And that's kind of our brand, dude. We only exclusively commentate the Husker games, and that's for a reason, because this is our team. We feel super strongly about this team. Win or lose, we bleed Husker right until the day we die. This dog's barking in the background. It's pissing me off.
I can't hear it, so that's good.
Okay, that's good. But
is there are you ready to transition? Because I know we wanted to talk about any other position coaches, coordinators that you're excited for. What do you think?
Yeah, kind of a big guy besides Matt Rhule, who I'm really excited for, is Garrett McGuire, the wide receivers coach. Big change from Mickey Joseph, our last wide receivers and interim head coach for that last part of the season. Garrett McGuire, he's like a mid-20s guy, first position coaching job of his career. And a lot of people are thinking, why are we bringing this young guy into the program that we need to rebuild quickly? But I think that it's a great hire. And I think what's been said about him and what Matt Rhule has been said about how he trusts him and the players who are already behind him, like getting a ton of college kids and having them be able to trust you when you're 25, however old he is, that speaks a lot, man, about what this type of dude is. And he's ready to coach. His dad is the head coach at Texas A&M, so he's been around football his whole entire life. Texas Tech, been around football his whole entire life. He knows what he's doing, and yeah, he's a young gun, but I think it's a win-win for us. If he's good, then hell yeah. If he's bad, which I don't see happening, I mean, we got athletes, dude, and we're going to be fucking at the wide receiver position no matter what, baby.
Yes.
Come on, baby.
And I mean, when you got the quarterback room like we got, I mean, slinging that ball, everybody might as well be open. So
come on, dude.
I would say my Marcus Satterfield, offensive coordinator. You've heard me say this before, Eddie. I'm excited to see him because I feel like Mark Whipple was a letdown a little bit in the sense of like I feel like we weren't as explosive. I feel like we weren't gaining as many yards or scoring as many points as I thought we would be, considering his offense is air raid. We got Casey Thompson, Trey Palmer, all the guys, the weapons.
Came from Pitt with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
The number 3 offense in the whole entire country last season, especially passing, just totally blew it up, which isn't Nebraska's identity in the first place.
Right. And, I mean, we're a run the damn ball team, and Marcus Satterfield has said that's what we're going to fucking do. We're going to bring in the fullbacks. We're going to bring back some of that Husker football culture and kick some ass. And honestly, man, every position group is better this year than it was last year on the offensive side of the ball. Wide receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, the line. Dude, I'm fucking fired up to see us be explosive and make some plays.
Yeah. What is I think that, like you said, we're trying to bring it back old school. We're not straying away from our roots, something that I think every Husker fan is going to enjoy, especially the old heads who are like, what are we doing passing the ball when we could be running it in between the tackles? And now we're going to do that. We're also going to be passing. I mean, it's
first and 10 and we're throwing the fucking ball.
Are you fucking shitting me? God damn it. That's what I say too.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think that it's going to be great. Just being old school Nebraska football. It's not the 1990s anymore. We're not going to be having a fullback in, I imagine, every single play of the offensive drive. But just to know that what Matt Rhule and Marcus Satterfield are trying to build on the offensive side, respecting the tradition of Nebraska and building off of that, having tough offensive linemen, tough guys in the backfield, tough quarterbacks who can run, who aren't afraid to block downfield for their teammates. That's something that we need to bring back. And I think it's great. And I'm excited for this offensive for this offensive unit to go out there on Saturday and show what they've been doing, baby. Show what they've been working on. I'm getting fired up right now, dude.
I know, dude. Dude, we have you're gonna be broadcasting in like 3 days, dude. It's 1:00 our time. So what? That's 11 a.m. your time, bud. It's coming up on us fast. So that's sick. Any players, offensive, defensive, what do you think they're in?
Yeah, let's start with the offense. I think big one for me is Xavier Betts. Been a part of the Nebraska football team before, left due to issues off the field, family issues, personal issues. Nonetheless, Matt Rhule saw him under the transfer portal and said, "Hey, why don't you stay where you're from, buddy, and let's build something here." And I mean, regardless of what he had off of the field, I think it's awesome that Matt Rhule invited him back and said, "You know what, I'm going to turn you into a great young man," like you were talking about earlier. It's not just about football. We're going to turn guys into young men here at the University of Nebraska. Play with the N on the side of their helmet. Go in and be proud of the state that you're from and who you play for. And I think that's a big thing too, is just to have a lot of guys from Nebraska who it's more than them playing for a school, trying to go to the NFL. That's something big for Nebraska, is just being the Cornhuskers, man, and having kids who have heart for the team and want to go out there and show off for their state.
And I mean, Eddie, how many times do we got to see that boy run the jet sweep and fucking haul ass 90 yards for a touchdown?
Dude, I'm getting fully hussed right now. I'm getting a little. Mike, stop. I keep going actually, but
dude, yeah, but I agree. Xavier Betts, I would say for me, the offensive person. I've what? What are you fucking laughing about on there, motherfucker? Jeff Sims, man, I want to see him throw the fucking ball. I don't care. This is a shitty answer. My room that I'm most excited to see for sure is the quarterback room. I mean, Casey Thompson, great guy last year, can throw the fucking ball. But Jeff Sims got a cannon, dude. Like he's got that. He kind of reminds me of Anthony Richardson. I feel like maybe whenever Jeff Sims goes out for the draft, if he's got kind of the same build as Anthony Richardson does, I think he might have some.
He's black?
No, I'm saying this because he's a talented ball player with some arm talent. That's why I'm saying this, Eddie, because he could fucking sling it, and he was a dog last year at Georgia Tech.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right, and I'm excited about that too. That quarterback battle. We got Casey Thompson, Jeff Sims, and that's awesome that Casey Thompson decided to stay. Just the competition level that we're going to have in there. He's saying, "I'm better than Jeff. You brought him in, but I'm going to do my thing, and we'll bet may the best man win."
Mm-hmm. But to be specific, I guess that's the room I'm most excited for. I'm really happy. Fucking Ramir Johnson, Gabe Ervin Jr.
Gabe Ervin Jr. has been the talk of the town during spring practice. This dude's fast, tough, strong, wants to play. And yeah, he came off of an injury last year, got hurt in the Oklahoma game, I think 2 years ago, kind of like almost, still injured probably a little bit last year, but now he's full go. He's 100% from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, that's a kid that started as a true freshman. He's a dog, and we're like, who is this guy? Came out of nowhere, and then hurt his second year. So to see him come back, I'm excited to see that as well.
Also, his number 22, and Rex Burkhead, one of my favorite Nebraska football players of all time, number 22.
White running back.
Guy. He's a white guy, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And no, I'm just like you, excited to see. I'm just excited to see this offense, man. I think it's going to be great. And yeah, moving on. Let's go over to the defensive side of the ball. Well, you got a player that you're excited for on that defensive side? I think I already know.
Yeah, Eddie. The thing is you already know this answer, and I've put my stake in this ground for years now. And part of me wants to keep this take just because it could go really well for me. And that guy for me is Miles Farmer. And the first game I seen him play when he got those 2 interceptions, I think it was against Northwestern, like his freshman or sophomore year, like 2 years ago, and he got 2 interceptions. I was like, dude, this guy's the fucking truth. Because he wasn't starting yet. He was sitting behind somebody, and I was like, why the fuck is this guy not starting? He's out here being a dog, getting interceptions every other play. So I'm gonna keep my hunch and say that that's my guy this year. I don't know if I'm most excited to see him necessarily, but I would say that's my guy. No, you know what? Fuck it, Eddie. That's who I'm most excited to see this year on the defensive side.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. Yeah. Also, I don't think we've ever talked about this, but great name for a Nebraska Cornhusker, Miles Farmer. It fits, dude. He's a damn farmer.
Yes, sir.
Fighting for the Cornhuskers.
I agree.
Come on, baby. You know the shit.
But I feel like we've actually had like a handful of good DBs the last handful of years, like Cam Taylor-Britt, dog, Quentin Newsome, dog, DiCaprio Boodle, and his brother's committed. I think his brother's a true freshman this year. Our DB room is going to be pretty filthy this year.
Right. Going off that, my guy to look out for this year is Malcolm Hartzog, true freshman last year, just like Farmer was when he was a true freshman. Made a lot of plays coming in, substituting for guys. A little undersized, but Malcolm Hartzog's a dude who plays with his heart, and he's good too. He's good. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying right now.
I like him too. I mean, as a true freshman, you come in, you're not starting, you're kind of playing that backup role, or like, am I going to play a role? And he's out here making plays, interceptions when the game is like on the line type shit. You can't teach that kind of dog. And I agree with you, Eddie. I mean, there's only one way to go from here, and it's up. And you gotta like admire a kid when a lot of the kids in his class transferred out. He stayed. And I like that. That makes me feel like he's here. He knows the core of Nebraska football, and that's a plus in my book.
That's a big thing too, dude, is all these guys who aren't transferring. Gabe Irvin Jr. is another one. Ramir Johnson, guys who really haven't played that much in these past seasons, but are sticking with the program and excited for a new coaching change, new coaches at all positions, and going, hey, dude, I still believe in this program. I think that what we got going is something good here. It also speaks really well to like their character, not giving up. And those are the guys you want on the team, dude. You don't want guys who maybe didn't do good somewhere here and are transferring. And the guys that are transferring aren't going to better places than Nebraska.
Yeah. They actually did a study that we can drop on our Twitter. So make sure you follow us on Twitter, that most D1 athletes that entered the portal either didn't stay in D1 or they didn't stay in the Power 5. Yeah, like they were the odds of them like staying within a Power 5 team or D1 was like not very high.
Right. Yeah, because it makes sense because they probably didn't get enough playing time at the place they were at. So how can you really
as a scout, like how can you watch that much film? Like you can't like unless you're within the conference, or I don't know, like I feel like that'd be hard to whoever comes out of the draft or that enters a portal. It's like how do you watch all that film?
Yeah, dude. Excited with the guys we got. What else do we got, bud?
I'm kind of excited about someone that we're rumored to be getting here. Legacy, Dylan Raiola, his father, Dominic, for Jersey retired at Nebraska. Dog. He's a quarterback.
Her uncle coaches the offensive line here.
Can't forget that part. Good job, Ed. He's a kid out of Phoenix, Chandler, Arizona, something like that. That greater area. And Arizona. Dog, I think he's number 7 in the class. He's a 5-star, like one of the top 2-3 quarterbacks in the class. So if I were to compare him to another quarterback, I'm comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. The kid's a dog.
Yeah, and another big thing, difference between Rhule and Frost is Rhule, as we talked about, hit the road hard, not only in Nebraska, but visiting a lot of other guys. I think he's been to Dylan's house at least 2 or 3 times, brought the whole entire staff to his house on one of the last previous visits. Yep. And old Scotty boy decided to visit Dylan Raiola one time, got a little too drunk, maybe drank too much preemptive Husker touchdowns, if you know what I'm saying. Fireball, who knows what his drink of choice is, but anyways, Buddy doesn't even show up for the in-home recruiting visit, cancels the recruiting visit because he was hungover. And that's not something that Matt Rhule is going to do, dude.
Yeah, no, you're completely right, Eddie. Though, I mean, the biggest thing with Frost is like all those recruiting things that he wasn't even showing up, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Matt Rhule was identified. Dylan Raiola had an interview with like some national reporter, and they're like, "Oh, what schools have you been impressed with?" Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Well, ever since Matt Rhule came into play, and I like Nebraska a lot." I mean, we're going up against the number one team in the nation, Georgia. We're going up against USC that just had a Heisman quarterback. Like, these are schools that kind of have a better geographical spot as well, and we're competing with them because of the fucking heart and soul of Husker football. Like, what else would it be? He went to a basketball game. He's throwing up the bones at the basketball game in Lincoln, and they're chanting his fucking name. He's 17 years old, but he's still got a whole year left before he decides where he's going to school. So I'm gonna put my crystal ball percent on him coming to Nebraska right now. I'm gonna give it an even 33%. 33% between the three of them right now.
Competing with Georgia and SC, one of them a back-to-back national championship winning team, very tough to beat out. But the guy who was recruiting him, Ted Monken, I believe, offensive coordinator, went to the Ravens. So that's kind of something that you got to think about. And then also USC, Southern California, great spot to play football. Lincoln Riley's the head coach. He has like what, fucking Kyler Murray and what's his name, dude? Caleb Williams, both won Heismans. I mean, that's
Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield.
If you're a quarterback, that is a guy that you would really consider playing for. But his daddy, Dylan's daddy from Nebraska, his uncle, Nebraska coach currently right now for the offensive line, grew up being a Nebraska fan. So we got that on our side. We don't got the record. We don't got the things that those other two teams do.
But nobody even shows up to USC games. Like, you see their spring game, they have like 1,000 people there. We're gonna have 90,000 people in our stadium on Saturday, and we've won 7 games in the last 2 years. I mean, when you talk about culture, yeah, USC is good or whatever, but they don't have like that foundation, that actual cultural foundation.
No. Yeah, so I mean, I'd love if Raiola came here, but then we also got to think about this new age of college football, the transfer portal. Maybe if he doesn't come for his first year, he's going to see Matt Rhule doing big things at Nebraska. He's going to call up his Uncle Donovan and say, "Hey, Uncle Donnie, I'm thinking about making a switch over to Nebraska, Uncle. What do you think?" I talked to my dad, Dominic, about it. He says, "I think you should do it." And then all of them are in a 3-4-way chat with Donnie and fucking Dominic and Dylan and fucking Matt Rhule. And they go, "Hey, Dylan, let's make the switch, buddy. Come on.
Hey,
come on, get your ass over here."
And fun fact, his uncle that coaches the O-line is the only coach that stayed on staff from the Frost era. All the coaches are gone from Frost's era except for him. And I think that's a reason, because they're like, yo, if he's on staff, we don't fire him, chances are a lot higher for him coming.
Right. Hopefully that's not the only reason. It's not, because Matt Rhule and Raiola, they've studied under the same offensive line theories. If you don't know that much about football, there's like a couple of offensive line theories that coaches adhere to. They're very complicated, and Matt and what's his name, fucking Raiola, know the same one. So that's a big reason that they went. But yeah, also trying to keep the Raiola name in the Husker in the Nebraska football
circuit.
Yeah.
Chamber.
Right.
New Herbie. We're gonna call it the new Herbie, but really it's the old Herbie. They brought back let's call it the new mascot. It's the new mascot. Right. Blonde hair, blue eyes, overalls, got the corn in his pockets, got the number 1. No more OK sign. He's got the number 1 sign.
That's right. Because this is flat time.
And people like it, man.
It does.
When Trev Alberts released the drop of like, oh hey, this is what we're gonna do for our new logo, blah 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 blah. He was saying this is about tradition. This is about people that are actually in the fields. This is about agriculture. This is about Nebraskans that are doing this shit. And I love it, man. It kind of gets me fired up. It's great. It's determination. It's fucking power, man. I love it.
Right. That's like it's I'd almost call new Herbie or this previous one, the brown haired collared shirt. He's white collar Herbie.
Yeah.
White collar Herbie, bro. He's here to make business plans while old school, now our real logo, Herbie. That's the epitome of a Nebraskan right there, dude. Gets his hands dirty, works in the farm, does things the right way, blue collar, drinks some beers at the end of the night. Amen. And that's what we are, dude. And that's what I think we're going back to with our style of play, with how we want our defense to be, how we want our offense to be with running the football. And I just think that this whole, as simple as it is a logo can really change a lot of what Nebraska will do in the future, man. It's going to be coming back to old school.
I mean, Nebraska. You're right, Eddie. It whether you like it or not, or think it or not, logos and marketing and things like that really do play an effect on image and culture and that kind of shit. So if we're out here being true to ourselves, we had the same old uniforms that are dope as fuck, and we're out here committing to who we are, that's authentic, and people like that. People will follow that.
Right. Yeah. So I'm excited for new Herbie. Excited for the spring game this Saturday coming up here. We'll be commentating. Aaron will be live inside Memorial Stadium with the Husker Hype Radio flag. Like you said earlier, don't be a stranger. Talk to your boy. And yeah, dude, I'm just excited for this Husker Hype Radio podcast, what we got in store in the future for you guys. We're going to be trying to get out a new podcast every week. Going to drop them on Friday, I believe.
Yeah.
Talk about just bullshit. Talk about what we talked about. Just fun things.
Yeah, we'll have themes kind of as they come up, but overall, if there's something that you want to hear specifically, have questions for us, you already know the socials. It's Husker Hype Radio everywhere. Hit us up.
Instagram,
Twitter, comment, subscribe. Yeah. Go right now. We'll give you a couple seconds. Pull up your TikToks, pull up your Instagrams, pull up your YouTubes. Like, subscribe, comment, leave a review if that's possible.
Right.
And let's grow this Husker Hype fandom, baby.
Yes, dude. Yes, this is what it's all about: is to grow this Nebraska fan base, is to show everybody how much Husker football means to a lot of people and how much it could mean to you. We haven't been good for a while, dude, but that doesn't take away the love that I have for this football team, man. The love that I have for the community of Nebraska and everything that it's all about. And I think that that's what this new coaching staff, what Trev Alberts, Matt Rhule is trying to bring back. We already have passion for the team, but to bring back like proudness, like just a sense of this is the team that I root for. This is the team that I care about so much. And God damn it, we're gonna go Saturday. Take some fucking ass, baby. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna go that team's never seen big done them before. I don't care if it's fucking on my school. I don't care if it's fucking Penn State. I don't care who the fuck it is. It can be Alabama. It can be anybody in the fucking world. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna play them.
God damn it, Eddie. I fucking love it.
Baby.
Well, I think that's a great way to end it. The only thing I have to add, we're having a contest. Eddie, I love the fucking energy. I fucking love that shit out of you, buddy. Lastly, we have to wrap it up. We have a minute left of our Zoom. We're having a logo contest. So any hypester out there want to give us a logo idea or like submit one for us, that'd be awesome. We'll give you some money.
Cash prize.
We'll give you a cash prize, and you can also appear on an episode of Husker Hype Radio.
Yes.
So
Cool. Yeah, dude. Just I think one more things for me, like, comment, subscribe, whatever, all that bullshit. And then just watch out for more future content from us. We haven't been doing too much lately, but we're going to be doing a lot now. This is a new age of Husker Hype Radio, of Nebraska football. Get ready. Let's go. I'm Eddie Rosenthal.
This is Aaron Worsfold, and you're listening to Husker Hype Radio.
Bleed red shit corn, baby.
Woo, 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 woo.